First contact and initial impressions. The vast expanse of space had long been thought to harbor countless forms of life, yet the Galactic Council had never encountered a species quite like humans. As the sleek, silver exploration vessel, Starweaver dropped out of hyperspace near the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star, Chief Xenobiologist Zixera felt a tingle of excitement course through her tentacles. Preliminary scans complete, Chief, chirped her assistant, Krell, his compound eyes flickering with data streams. The planet appears to be teeming with life. But there's something odd about the dominant species. Zixera glided across the bridge, her gelatinous form pulsing with curiosity. Odd how, Krell? Elaborate. Krell's antennae twitched nervously. Well, according to our categorization system, this planet should be classified as a Class 12 death world. The gravity, atmospheric composition, temperature variations, and presence of predators all contribute to an extremely hostile environment. Yet, the dominant species appears to be thriving. The chief xenobiologist's interest peaked. In all her centuries of exploration, she had never encountered sentient life on anything beyond a Class 8 world. "Show me," she commanded. The main view screen flickered to life, displaying a montage of images captured by their long-range sensors. Bipedal creatures moved about in various environments, from scorching deserts to frigid tundras, from dense jungles to barren mountaintops. They built towering structures, crafted complex machines, and seemed to adapt to every challenge their harsh world presented. "Fascinating," Zixera murmured. "They appear to be endothermic and possess only a single heart. How do they survive in such varied conditions?" As if in answer to her question, the screen shifted to show a human climbing an impossibly steep cliff face. The being's muscles strained, sweat glistening on its skin as it reached for another handhold. A sudden gust of wind threatened to dislodge the climber, but instead of falling, the human adjusted its grip and continued upward with seemingly indomitable determination. "Their physical resilience is remarkable," Krell noted, "but it's their mental fortitude that truly sets them apart. Observe their historical records." The display changed again, showing scenes of human history. Wars, natural disasters, plagues, time and again. These creatures faced extinction-level events, yet they always seemed to bounce back stronger. They turned setbacks into opportunities, adapted to new challenges, and pushed the boundaries of what seemed possible. Zixera felt a mix of awe and unease. Have they achieved spaceflight? Krell nodded, his exoskeleton clacking softly. Rudimentary, by our standards, but progressing at an alarming rate. They've already visited their moon and sent probes to neighboring planets. Their technological advancement is unprecedented. The chief xenobiologist made a decision. Prepare a first contact team. We need to study these beings up close. Hours later, Zixera found herself in a clearing on the outskirts of a human settlement. The team had chosen a remote location to minimize the risk of widespread panic. As they waited, the alien scientists marveled at the lush vegetation surrounding them, each plant and insect a potential death trap to off-world visitors. A low rumble in the distance signaled the approach of a human vehicle. Zixera steeled herself, unsure of what to expect. The ground trembled slightly as a rugged, wheeled transport came into view, kicking up dust in its wake. The vehicle stopped a short distance away, and 3 humans emerged. They approached cautiously, but without obvious fear, their eyes wide with wonder and curiosity that mirrored Zixera's own. "Greetings," Zixera transmitted through the universal translator. "We come in peace and seek to learn about your kind." The humans exchanged glances before one stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth," the being said, its voice filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time." What followed was a whirlwind of cultural exchange. The humans, far from being intimidated by the aliens' advanced technology, were eager to learn and share. They asked insightful questions, offered their own knowledge freely, and displayed an adaptability that stunned the Galactic Council team. As the first day of contact drew to a close, Zixera retreated to the Starweaver to compile her initial report. Her gelatinous form rippled with conflicting emotions as she began to record. First impressions of the species known as humans are complex. On one hand, they display a level of curiosity and intellectual capacity that rivals some of the most advanced races in the Galactic Council. Their ability to adapt to harsh environments and overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles is nothing short of remarkable. However, it is precisely these qualities that also give me pause. The humans' homeworld, which they call Earth, is a crucible of evolution that has forged them into creatures of incredible resilience and potential. They view challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as problems to be solved. This mindset, combined with their rapidly advancing technology, could make them a formidable force in the galaxy. Of particular note is their psychological makeup. Humans possess an almost paradoxical combination of individual drive and collective cooperation. They can be fiercely competitive, yet also display profound empathy and self-sacrifice. This duality allows them to push themselves to extremes while also working together to achieve common goals. Their history is marked by conflict, both with their environment and among themselves. Yet each hardship seems to have only made them stronger. They have faced near-extinction events multiple times and emerged more resilient. This capacity for survival and growth in the face of adversity is unparalleled in my experience. Perhaps most alarming is the speed at which humans progress. In the span of a few centuries, they have gone from primitive agrarian societies to a space-faring civilization on the brink of interstellar travel. If this trajectory continues, they could become a major player in galactic affairs within a few generations. Recommendation: continue observation and limited interaction. The human potential for both great achievement and great destruction cannot be ignored. We must proceed with caution, but also with an open mind. These Deathworlders may be the key to unlocking new realms of possibility for all sentient life. End report. Zixera paused the recording, her mind swirling with the implications of their discovery. As she gazed out at the blue-green planet below, she couldn't shake the feeling that the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity, for better or worse, was about to make its mark on the cosmos. The human threat emerges. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy as representatives from 100 different species gathered for an emergency session. It had been just 5 standard cycles since first contact with humanity, but already the repercussions were sending shockwaves through interstellar society. High Counselor Vexthor, a towering insectoid with iridescent wings, called the session to order. Esteemed colleagues, his mandibles clicked with tension, we are here to discuss the unprecedented situation regarding the species known as humans. A holographic display flickered to life in the center of the chamber, showing a time-lapse of human technological progress. The assembled aliens watched in stunned silence as human civilization leaped from primitive combustion engines to fusion reactors in the blink of an eye. As you can see, Vexthor continued, the rate of human advancement is alarming. They have already reverse-engineered several technologies we shared during our cultural exchange program. Their scientists are asking questions that our experts struggle to answer. Zixera, now promoted to senior xenological advisor, felt a mix of pride and apprehension. She had championed increased engagement with humans, believing that their unique perspective could benefit the galaxy. But even she hadn't anticipated the speed of their progress. A Melnarian diplomat, his crystalline form shimmering with agitation, spoke up. This is unprecedented. We must contain this threat before it's too late. The humans' warlike history makes them too dangerous to allow unfettered access to advanced technology. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber, but Zixera felt compelled to intervene. With respect, colleagues, I believe we're overlooking a crucial aspect of human nature. Yes, they have a history of conflict, but they also possess a remarkable capacity for cooperation and empathy. She gestured, and the hologram shifted to show scenes of human humanitarian efforts. People risking their lives to save others during natural disasters, global initiatives to combat disease and poverty, and scientific collaborations that crossed national boundaries. Humans call it rising to the occasion, Scariest explained. When faced with great challenges, they often set aside their differences and work together. This adaptability is what makes them so resilient and potentially valuable as allies. The chamber fell silent as the council members contemplated her words. But the moment of reflection was short-lived. Alarms blared, and an aide rushed in, his tentacles writhing with urgency. "High Counselor, we've just received word. The humans have achieved faster-than-light travel." The chamber erupted in chaos. FTL technology was supposed to be centuries beyond human capability. Its development signaled a quantum leap in their scientific understanding and a potential shift in the balance of power. As the council argued about how to respond, reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Human exploration ships were appearing in systems light years from Earth, establishing outposts and initiating contact with other species. Some welcomed the newcomers with open arms, eager to trade and share knowledge. Others reacted with fear and hostility, seeing the rapid human expansion as a threat. Tensions reached a boiling point when a human colony ship entered a contested system on the fringes of Melnarian space. The crystalline beings, already wary of human potential, saw this as an act of aggression. They demanded the Galactic Council take action to curb human expansion. Earth's recently appointed ambassador, Dr. Ilara Chen, stood before the council, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the frenzied atmosphere. "Members of the Galactic Council," she began, her voice steady, "humanity comes in peace. We seek only to explore, to learn, and to forge new friendships among the stars." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We understand your concerns. Our history is indeed marked by conflict, but it is also filled with triumphs of cooperation. We've overcome divisions within our own species and united to face greater challenges. Now we wish to extend that spirit of collaboration to the galaxy at large." Ambassador Chen's words seemed to resonate with some council members, but others remained skeptical. The Melnarian representative's crystalline form pulsed with barely contained anger. "Pretty words, human, but they do not change the fact that your kind represents an unprecedented threat to galactic stability. Your rapid expansion must be contained." The human ambassador's eyes flashed with a determination that Scariest had come to recognize as quintessentially human. "We will not be contained," Chen stated firmly. "Exploration and growth are fundamental to who we are, but we are willing to work with the Council to establish guidelines for responsible expansion." As the debate raged on, Scariest found herself torn. She had come to admire human potential, but she also understood the fears of her fellow council members. The galaxy stood at a crossroads, and the decisions made in this chamber would shape the future of interstellar relations for generations to come. Weeks of tense negotiations followed. Humanity agreed to slow its rate of expansion and to share its scientific discoveries with the Galactic Council. In return, they were granted limited membership status and access to certain restricted technologies. It was an uneasy compromise, but one that prevented an immediate crisis. However, as human ships ventured further into the cosmos, not all encounters were peaceful. Reports began to trickle in of skirmishes on the fringes of explored space. A human mining operation clashed with a reclusive silicon-based species. A first contact scenario went awry when human explorers inadvertently violated a sacred alien site. Each incident added fuel to the fire of those who saw humanity as a threat. Anti-human sentiment began to grow in some quarters of the galaxy. Trade embargoes were proposed, and several species began to militarize their borders against potential human encroachment. Earth's leaders, aware of the growing tensions, tried to strike a balance between asserting their rights to explore and respecting the concerns of other species. They initiated a series of goodwill missions, offering humanitarian aid and technological assistance to less developed worlds. These efforts won them some allies, but also deepened the divide between pro-human and anti-human factions. As the galactic political landscape grew ever more complex, a new challenge emerged from an unexpected quarter. The Void Collective, a mysterious and ancient race long thought to be dormant, began to stir. Their massive planet-sized ships were detected on the move for the first time in millennia. Zixera, poring over the latest intelligence reports, felt a chill run through her gelatinous form. The Void Collective were said to be the original caretakers of the galaxy, stepping in only when they perceived a threat to cosmic balance. Their awakening could only mean one thing: they had taken notice of humanity's rapid rise. As news of the Void Collective's activity spread, the Galactic Council found itself facing a new dilemma. Would the ancient race see humanity as a threat to be eliminated, or would they recognize the potential that Zixera and others had seen? The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine not just the fate of humanity, but the future of the entire galaxy. As tensions mounted and alliances shifted, one thing became clear: the age of human isolation was over. For better or worse, they were now irrevocably part of the cosmic community, and the ripples of their influence would be felt across the stars. The Great Challenge. The emergence of the Void Collective sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Their massive, obsidian ships loomed at the edges of inhabited space, silent and inscrutable. Centuries of myth and speculation about these ancient beings were about to be put to the test. In the council chambers, panic gave way to frantic preparation. Species that had been at odds just days before now found themselves united by a common concern. The Void Collective's purpose was unknown, but their power was undeniable. Amidst the chaos, a message arrived. It was simple, direct, and broadcast across all known communication channels. To the species known as humans: you have been observed. You have been judged. You will be tested. Prepare. The galactic community held its breath, waiting for humanity's response. In orbiting habitats, on colony worlds, and back on Earth, humans from all walks of life tuned in to watch their leaders address this unprecedented situation. Dr. Ilara Chen, now serving as Earth's primary representative to the galactic community, stood before a joint session of the United Earth Government. Her face, broadcast on screens across human-controlled space, showed a mix of determination and concern. People of Earth and her colonies, she began, her voice steady despite the weight of trillions of lives hanging on her words. We face a challenge unlike any in our history. The Void Collective, an ancient and powerful race, has issued us a direct challenge. They have not specified the nature of this test, but we can assume it will push us to our very limits. She paused, letting the gravity of the situation sink in. However, we are humanity. We are the children of Earth, a death world that forged us in fire and ice, in flood and drought. We have faced extinction a dozen times over and emerged stronger each time. We will meet this challenge as we have met every other, with courage, with ingenuity, and with an unbreakable spirit. As Chen's words echoed across human space, a curious thing began to happen. Instead of panic, a sense of purpose seemed to sweep through the population. Humans, true to their nature, began to see this not as a threat, but as an opportunity, a chance to prove themselves on the galactic stage. In laboratories and workshops across human-controlled space, scientists and engineers threw themselves into their work with renewed vigor. New technologies were developed at a blistering pace, each breakthrough bringing humanity closer to whatever challenge the Void Collective might pose. On the diplomatic front, Ambassador Chen worked tirelessly to shore up human alliances. Some species, impressed by humanity's resolve, offered their support. Others, seeing an opportunity to rid themselves of a potential rival, quietly hoped for human failure. Zixera found herself in a unique position. As one of the few non-humans who had extensive experience with humanity, she was called upon to advise both the Galactic Council and the Void Collective. Her insights into human psychology and potential would be crucial in the coming days. You must understand, She explained to a gathering of Void Collective emissaries. Their forms shadowy and indistinct. Humans thrive on challenges. The more impossible the task seems, the more determined they become to overcome it. Whatever test you devise, they will throw everything they have at it, and likely surprise us all in the process. The Void Collective representatives remained silent, but Zixera sensed a ripple of something. Interest. Amusement. It was hard to tell with beings so far removed from common experience. As preparations continued, the nature of the challenge was finally revealed. The Void Collective had created a massive artificial structure deep in uncharted space. This crucible, as it came to be known, was a labyrinth of environments and obstacles designed to test every aspect of a species' capabilities. The challenge was twofold. First, reach the crucible, navigating through treacherous, uncharted space. Second, overcome the trials within and reach the core. Success would mean recognition as a true galactic power. Failure. The consequences were left ominously unspecified. Humanity's response was swift and decisive. A fleet of their most advanced ships was assembled, crewed by the best and brightest Earth had to offer. Scientists, soldiers, diplomats, and explorers all volunteered, knowing full well they might never return. As the fleet prepared to depart, a ceremony was held. Representatives from every human nation and colony gathered to wish the expedition luck. The atmosphere was tense, but charged with an electric sense of possibility. Admiral Cora Zhao, the leader of the expedition, addressed the assembled crowd and the countless others watching via broadcast. A veteran of both space exploration and the diplomatic corps, Zhao embodied the best of human adaptability and determination. We go forth not just for humanity, but for all those who believe in the power of perseverance and hope, Zhao declared, her voice ringing with conviction. We carry with us the dreams of countless generations who looked up at the stars and dared to imagine. Whatever trials we face them together, as one human family and as part of a greater galactic community. As the fleet lifted off, cheers erupted from the crowds below. Across human space, people held their breath, watching as the ships grew smaller and smaller, eventually disappearing into the vast expanse of space. The journey to the crucible was perilous from the start. Uncharted space lived up to its reputation, throwing challenge after challenge at the human fleet. Gravitational anomalies threatened to tear ships apart. Strange, spaceborne organisms attacked without warning. Mysterious energy fields played havoc with instruments and minds alike. But with each obstacle, the humans adapted. They recalibrated their sensors to navigate the anomalies. They communicated with the space creatures, turning potential enemies into guides. They shielded their minds and machines against the energy fields, turning the strange forces to their advantage. News of the fleet's progress spread across the galaxy. Many watched with growing admiration as the humans overcame challenges that would have stymied more advanced races. Others grew increasingly uneasy at this display of human adaptability and resolve. Finally, after weeks of harrowing travel, the human fleet arrived at the crucible. The structure was a marvel of engineering, a massive multi-layered sphere that dwarfed even the largest known space stations. Its surface was a constantly shifting maze of openings and barriers, as if the entire structure was alive and evolving. As the fleet approached, a message resonated through every ship. You have reached the crucible. Your trial begins now. Enter and prove your worth to the cosmos. Admiral Zhao, standing on the bridge of the flagship, took a deep breath. She looked around at her crew, seeing the same mix of determination and apprehension that she felt herself. With a nod, she gave the order. All ships, prepare for entry. Whatever lies ahead, we face it together. For Earth, for humanity, for the future of all sentient life. Let's make history. As the human ships began their approach, the outer layers of the crucible started to shift and realign. The true test was about to begin, and the fate of humanity, perhaps of the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. Across the cosmos, Countless beings held their breath, watching and waiting to see if these upstart Deathworlders would rise to the challenge or be found wanting. The stage was set for a trial that would echo through the ages, triumph against all odds. As the human fleet entered the crucible, they were immediately separated. Each ship found itself in a unique environment, facing challenges tailored to test specific aspects of human capability. The vast structure seemed to defy the laws of physics, with environments ranging from scorching deserts to frozen wastelands, from bottomless oceans to airless voids. Admiral Zhou's flagship, the Horizon, emerged into a massive chamber that seemed to stretch endlessly in all directions. The air was thick with a strange, shimmering mist that interfered with their sensors and communications. Status report, Zhou commanded, her voice steady despite the disorientation. All systems operational. Admiral, her second-in-command, Commander Yuki Tanaka, reported. But our long-range sensors and communication arrays are being affected by the mist. We're essentially flying blind. Zhou nodded grimly. Just as the Void Collective intended, no doubt. We'll have to rely on our wits and training. All hands, prepare for unknown contingencies. As the Horizon ventured deeper into the mist, they encountered their first challenge. Massive crystalline entities emerged from the haze, their faceted surfaces refracting the light in dazzling patterns. These beings, it soon became clear, communicated through complex light signals. Dr. Aria Foster, the ship's xenolinguist, worked feverishly to decipher the patterns. It's not just communication, she realized with growing excitement. It's a test of our ability to understand and interact with truly alien life forms. Over the next few hours, the crew of the Horizon engaged in a delicate dance of light and shadow, learning to communicate with the crystalline entities. Through patience and creativity, they not only established a basic understanding, but also gained crucial information about navigating the misty realm. Meanwhile, other ships faced their own unique trials. The Perez, a research vessel, found itself in an environment of rapidly evolving microorganisms. The science team, led by Dr. Quamosi, had to work around the clock to stay ahead of the mutations, developing new vaccines and treatments at an unprecedented pace. It's like nothing we've ever seen, Dr. Osai reported, his eyes bleary from lack of sleep, but alight with scientific curiosity. These organisms are evolving faster than anything on record. It's pushing our adaptive capabilities to the limit. The military escort ship Thunderbolt, commanded by Colonel Sarah Chen, faced a series of increasingly complex combat simulations, swarms of autonomous drones, shape-shifting adversaries, and weapons that bent the fabric of space-time itself pushed the crew to their limits. They're not just testing our firepower, Colonel Chen realized as she coordinated yet another impossible defense. They're testing our strategic thinking, our ability to adapt to unknown threats on the fly. As news of these trials trickled back to the waiting galaxy, reactions were mixed. Many were in awe of human resilience and adaptability. Others, particularly those who had long seen humanity as a threat, hoped this would finally put the upstart species in its place. Zixera, watching from a Galactic Council observation post, felt a growing sense of pride and concern. They're doing better than anyone expected, she noted to her colleagues. But the real test is yet to come. Indeed, as the human ships progressed deeper into the crucible, the challenges grew exponentially more difficult. Physical trials gave way to moral and ethical dilemmas that strained the very core of human values. The crew of the Horizon found themselves faced with an impossible choice: sacrifice a portion of their own crew to save a newly discovered alien species, or preserve themselves at the cost of an entire civilization. Admiral Zhou stood before her crew, the weight of the decision heavy on her shoulders. "We came here to prove humanity's worth," she said, her voice tight with emotion. "Not just our strength or our intelligence, but our values, our humanity." She took a deep breath. "We will save them, whatever the cost." The decision sent shockwaves through the observing galaxy. Many couldn't comprehend the choice to sacrifice oneself for an unknown species, But for humans, it was a testament to their deepest held beliefs. As the trials progressed, a pattern began to emerge. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their adaptability, though these played crucial roles. It was their ability to come together in the face of adversity, to find creative solutions to impossible problems, and to hold on to their core values even in the darkest moments. The final challenge came as the remaining human ships converged on the heart of the Crucible. Here, they faced a simulation of a galaxy-wide catastrophe, one that threatened all sentient life. To succeed, they would need to coordinate not just with each other, but with simulated alien species, many of whom were distrustful or outright hostile. Admiral Zhao, her crew reduced but unbroken, took charge of the situation. "We didn't come this far to fail now," she declared. "Humanity has always been at its best when the stakes are highest. Let's show the galaxy what we're truly capable of." What followed was a masterclass in diplomacy, strategic thinking, and selfless cooperation. Humans worked tirelessly to bridge gaps between species, to find common ground where none seemed to exist. They offered innovative solutions, made personal sacrifices, and time and again demonstrated why they had survived and thrived on their harsh homeworld. As the simulated crisis reached its peak, it was a joint effort, human ingenuity combined with the unique strengths of a dozen alien species, that finally turned the tide. The catastrophe was averted, and as the simulation faded away, a profound silence fell over the Crucible. Then a voice, vast and ancient, echoed through every ship and every mind. "You have been tested. You have been measured. Humanity, you have proven yourselves worthy." The Void Collective materialized before the assembled human fleet, their true forms finally revealed. They were beings of pure energy, as old as the stars themselves. In all our eons of watching over the galaxy, the Void Collective intoned, "We have never encountered a species quite like yours. Your potential is matched only by your compassion, your drive tempered by wisdom beyond your years." Admiral Zhao, battered but unbowed, stepped forward. "We thank you for this opportunity," she said, her voice carrying the weight of all humanity. "We came here not to prove our superiority, but to earn our place among the stars. We hope we have shown that humanity is ready to join the galactic community as full partners, ready to face whatever challenges the universe may bring." The Void Collective's energy pulsed in what might have been approval. "You have done more than that, humans. You have given the galaxy new hope. Return to your people. Your journey among the stars is just beginning." As the human fleet prepared to depart the Crucible, news of their success spread across the cosmos at faster-than-light speeds. In the Galactic Council chambers, in alien forums and marketplaces, in the hearts and minds of countless beings, a new understanding dawned. Humanity, the Deathworlders from Earth, had not just survived the ultimate test. They had redefined it. They had shown that true strength lies not in domination, but in cooperation, not in fear, but in hope. As Zixara watched the battered but triumphant human ships emerge from the Crucible, she felt a sense of awe and excitement. The galaxy would never be the same, and she couldn't wait to see what these remarkable beings would do next. A new era dawns. The return of the human fleet from the Crucible marked the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history. As news of their triumph spread, the political and social landscape of the cosmos began to shift dramatically. Species that had once viewed humanity with suspicion or outright hostility now clamored for alliances and cultural exchanges. On Earth and its colonies, celebrations erupted on an unprecedented scale. The streets of every city, from the towering arcologies of New Beijing to the undersea domes of Atlantis Nova, were filled with jubilant crowds. Humanity had faced its greatest test and emerged victorious, proving to the galaxy, and to themselves, that they were capable of far more than anyone had imagined. Admiral Zhao and her crew, hailed as heroes, found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of diplomatic activity. Every major galactic power wanted to hear their first-hand accounts of the Crucible's challenges. The lessons learned there, it was clear, would shape interstellar relations for generations to come. In a historic address to the Galactic Council, now expanded to include human representatives, Admiral Zhao spoke not of triumph, but of responsibility. "We entered the crucible as representatives of humanity," she said, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. "We emerged as citizens of the galaxy. The trials we faced taught us not just about our own strengths, but about the incredible potential that exists when different species work together towards a common goal." She paused, her gaze sweeping across the assembled delegates. "We stand here today not to claim superiority, but to offer partnership. The challenges we faced in the crucible are but a fraction of what awaits us all in the vast, unknown reaches of the cosmos. It is only by standing united, by combining our unique strengths and perspectives, that we can hope to face whatever the universe may throw at us." Her words resonated deeply with many council members. The Melnarian representative, once one of humanity's harshest critics, was the first to stand in support. "We have misjudged our human friends," the crystalline being chimed, its facets shimmering with emotion. "Their strength is not a threat, but a shield behind which we all may stand." In the weeks and months that followed, a flurry of new treaties and accords reshaped the galactic political landscape. Human experts in adaptive problem-solving were in high demand, while Earth eagerly welcomed alien scientists and philosophers, leading to an unprecedented exchange of knowledge and ideas. Perhaps most significantly, the Void Collective, impressed by humanity's performance in the Crucible, began to take a more active role in galactic affairs. Their vast knowledge and resources, combined with human innovation and the diverse strengths of other species, ushered in an era of exploration and discovery unlike any before. Zixera, promoted to High Counselor in recognition of her role in human-alien relations, found herself at the forefront of these exciting changes. As she prepared for yet another round of diplomatic talks, she reflected on how far they had all come. "Who would have thought," she mused to her aide, "that those strange Deathworlders we discovered not so long ago would end up changing the very fabric of our galactic society?" Her aide, a young Melnarian named Crix, tilted his crystalline head. "But isn't that what you predicted, High Counselor? I've read your early reports on humans. You saw their potential from the start." Zixera's gelatinous form rippled with amusement. "I saw a fraction of their potential, Crix. The reality has far exceeded even my wildest expectations." As if to underscore her point, a notification chimed on her communicator. The first joint human-alien expedition to the galactic core was about to launch. The mission, unthinkable just a few years ago, aimed to unravel the mysteries of the supermassive black hole at the galaxy's heart. Watching the launch ceremony on a holoscreen, Zixera felt a surge of excitement. The sleek ship, a marvel of combined technologies, carried a crew representing a dozen different species. At its helm stood Captain Aria Foster, once the xenolinguist aboard the Horizon, now a symbol of humanity's rapid rise in galactic affairs. As the ship accelerated away, breaking free of conventional spacetime to begin its journey, Zixera couldn't help but feel that they were all on the brink of something truly monumental. The age of isolation was over. The era of true galactic cooperation had begun, and at the heart of it all were the humans, those incredible, unpredictable, endlessly adaptable Deathworlders who had proven that the most important strength of all was the ability to bring out the best in others. As she turned back to her diplomatic briefings, Zixera allowed herself a moment of pride. She had been among the first to see humanity's potential, and now she was helping to shape a future where that potential could fully bloom. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but also dangers beyond imagination. With humans as allies, Zixera felt for the first time that they might just be ready to face whatever lay ahead. The story of humanity's rise from isolated Deathworlders to galactic partners was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. And if their journey so far was any indication, the next chapters promised to be more incredible than anyone could possibly imagine. As night fell on the Galactic Council's capital world, countless beings looked up at the stars with a new sense of wonder and possibility. The universe, vast and mysterious as it was, suddenly seemed a little less daunting and a lot more exciting. For in the hearts and minds of humans and aliens alike, a new truth had taken root. Together, there was no challenge they couldn't overcome, no frontier they couldn't explore. The fearsome Deathworlders had become the galaxy's greatest hope, and the best was yet to come.